Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Wang. I'm also the group leader of our TNCB team. So today, our topic is BMW Group, which is as same as the first presentation. First of all, please allow me to introduce my team member. This is Sheila Zhao Pengling. She will be in charge of the strategy part, and this is Wu Jing Emma, will be in charge of the 7Ps analysis. Dora will be in charge of the pastel analysis, and Kim Fitzroy will be in charge of the SWOT. Okay, Kim will be in charge of the SWOT analysis, and this is Binta will be do the financial analysis and find marketing force. Okay, guys, please move to your seat, and I will be start. Thank you. Before I do the introduction part, I would like all of you to see our poster design. Because our design concept is based on BMW 100-year ceremony logo. And as you see, there are lots of triangles here made up the logo. So, last year is BMW's 100-year ceremony. So, before that, let's move to the first section. 1916, BMW was founded, and 1923, after Germany failed the First World War, BMW was not allowed to produce the airplane engine, so they start to produce the first motorcycle, and which is launched in the Paris Auto Show. 1928, which is the first car model, was launched out by BMW. The car's name is Dixie. And 1954, which means after the Second World War, the company has fallen to a very hard period, and this car saves the company a lot, which is called Isetta. 1973, BMW in this year has two big things for BMW. First is the head office in Munich was set up, which is called 4-cylinder building, and also BMW has set up the first plant outside of Germany, which is in Roslyn, South Africa. And in 1994, BMW Group has set up another plant in USA, South Carolina, and the name of the plant is Spartanburg. And 2004, this is the first time for BMW to come to China, and they made up one company, local company in China, which is called BMW Brilliance Automotive. And in the same year, the Shenyang plant was founded. And 2016, which is BMW 100-year ceremony. Okay, our next topic will be based on the human capital. Until last year, BMW will have 124,000 employees all over the world, and 90% of them is in automotive segment, and the rest of them is in motorcycle and BMW finance segment. And the next topic will be marketing. As you know, BMW will take the number 2 sales volume lead in the luxury car brand. And BMW has more than 6,000 dealerships all over the world. And during this 6,000 dealerships, the most important market, which is North America, including USA and Canada, and China mainland, and Europe will be the first biggest 3 market. And in China, the last year, BMW has purchased more than 1 billion RMB for the marketing budget. So it's a big purchase. My last topic is the supply chain. As you can see here, I draw a world map. BMW recently has 20 plants in the world, which including in Europe, which is 13 plants, which is located in Germany and Britain, and in Asia there are 3 plants, which is located in India, Thailand, and China. And in USA they have 2 plants, Mexico 1, and these all plants also make up the 20 plants. And each plant covers each continental of the world, so it saves a lot of budget for transportation. And also they also have some partnership of plants in the world. And in Malaysia, there's one partner plant which is in Kulim, which produces the BMW body parts. Okay, my last topic will be the resource allocation. In Germany, it will take 42.6% from the resources of the global BMW, and for Eastern Europe it takes 90.7%, NAFTA takes 15.9%, and the rest of the Western Europe takes 15.8%, Asia and Australia takes 4.6%, and Africa takes 1.4%. So this is my part. I think from my basic introduction, you will have a basic insight of the BMW Group. So next, please welcome my team member Sheila to the stage.
Hello everyone, I'm Zhang Hu, so you can call me Sheila. My talk will focus on BMW Group strategy. When we talk about a strategy of a 100 years company, I think everyone will be interested in 2 points. One, what is BMW Group strategy in past, now, and in future? Two, what is BMW future strategy core points? Okay, next I will answer these 2 questions. For the first question, strategy for initial, now, and future. Just now, my group leader Wang had just mentioned BMW Group had just passed its 100 years birthday celebration in 2016. In 2016, the BMW CEO had done a presentation to all the invitors of the branch during the BMW 100 years ceremony. He has mentioned the BMW Group strategy very clearly. Everyone, please look at here. Looking the period 2001 to 2003, BMW used the strategy of premier brand strategy, which contains technology development, quality improvement, dealer network development, and customer service improvement, and market share improvement. During the period 2004 to 2016, which is very important period for BMW, BMW Group has developed very successful strategy, which has made BMW as a champion of sales value premier auto brand since 2011 to 2016. This strategy is called strategy number 1, which contains 3 elements. They are shaping the future profitability, access to technology, and customers. As I mentioned just now, BMW CEO has first time launched a new strategy for BMW Group in the 100 years ceremony presentation, which is called strategy number 1 next. This number 1 next have a closed linkage with BMW until 2020. Also, this strategy will lead BMW Group to another 100 years development. 3 main points will be included in this strategy. Benchmark model in luxury, dynamic and efficient image, technology and innovation leader. Next, I'm going to explain these 4 core points one by one. Let's see the first point, benchmark model in luxury segment. Here, the benchmark model refers to 2 points important car models in BMW product series. The 6th generation of BMW 7 Series, which is also BMW flagship car model, is the highest level in BMW product model. As you know, in premium auto brand industry, the highest level product model has a very important role to build up the brand image. It gets the best technology, best carbon materials, best engine, and best artificial intelligence. As I mentioned, BMW will be the technology and innovation leader in auto industry. So, to reach this achievement, BMW will be focused on both powertrain technology and digitalization on future. BMW is supplies or partners, for example, EMG Technology Limited. The next is hydrogen, also we call it hybrid technology. The engine technology combines electric power with petrol power. This technology is developed by BMW Development Center only. The digitalization contains connective, artificial intelligence, autonomous driving. So this is my part. Next, welcome my partner Emma to introduce BMW Group 7PS.
Hello everyone, my name is Jin. Let me introduce the 7PS of the 7PS part. In our exercise, we also use the 7PS tool to look into the BMW marketing strategy. It consists of the product, place, and price, promotion, physical evidence, and the process, and the people. The first one we talk about the product. BMW Group is focused on the luxury two-wheel and four-wheel automobiles, and also include its engines for all over the world. It has its vehicle under three brands: BMW and Mini and Rolls-Royce. These products also classified as the niche market. It is not only a good, it is more like a style, performance, and consists simple. The second, we talk about the place. Now, BMW Group has about 6,000 dealerships and sales representatives in 150 countries globally. Let's look at our poster. The finger shows now the US and Germany and China is the largest market for the BMW Group. At its beginning, being a world-renowned vehicle manufacturer, with gaining the newer customers across the globe, the company now set up a large number of factories to cater this such huge demand. Recently, BMW has set up its factories in over 10 countries. They also set up some factories in some smaller and emerging markets for local requirements and export to nearby countries. The third, we talk about the price. The BMW pricing strategy can be described as the premium. Due to its advanced features and design, make the vehicle come for expensive price. Mini Cooper and Rolls-Royce are priced a bit higher than the BMW brand range. However, BMW has adopted dynamic pricing in some smaller and newer countries like in India and Brazil. The fourth, we talk about the promotion. The BMW Group has been a strong advertiser by using media channels like TV, online shows, and billboards, and the print ads, and so on, so that it can create a continuous brand awareness. Beyond that, BMW also as a participant and organizer in various international rallies and other sports events for a long time. This event has led the BMW Group recognized as a faster and reliable automobile over the years. The fifth, we talk the physical evidence. All the assets of BMW Group are their physical events. For example, like their logo, their beauty, and their business card, and their exhibitions, and so on. The sixth, we talk about the people. The BMW Group's employees are the above average salaries in global. In addition, they offer some social benefits like retail model as well as the health and accident insurance. Invest in some employees. They also invest in their employees' future by developing their skills and promote them according to their individual strengths. The success of their effort is reflected in the high level of their employee satisfaction. The seventh, we talk about the process. They think every person is unique, so everything about their brand, their service, and their product they offer is individual and unique. They provide some extended service to their customers, like softwares, like they make some softwares to make the customers to let them have a good experience in using their cars, like drive now and reach now, park now and charge now. Just like its vehicle, BMW Group service is designed for the maximum customers' orientation. Okay, that's my part. Welcome my next partner, Dora Joseph.
Okay, thank you very much. As my group leader introduced me, my name is Dora, and I'll be taking you along the PESTA analysis. First of all, we have to understand why the BMW had to incorporate PESTA analysis as a marketing strategy in its operations. PESTA analysis is mostly used when a company wants to go global. So on our view, we decided to take China as a sample. So BMW went to invest in China, and thus it has to look upon the PESTA analysis, which involves the political factors, the economic factors, the social factors, the technological factors, the environmental factors, and the economic factors as well. So let me start by explaining to you the political factor point of view. And the political factor, we have to understand that before going anywhere global to invest, you have to make sure that the political stability of that place is favorable. So for BMW to open up its wings and going to China, it was favorable because China's political stability was good, and that made them to have a healthy business environment. Also, the recycling ability, which is incorporated within the BMW group, is well accepted in China as it saved the environment as well. Also, the government rules don't bind it enough towards the expansion of any business activity within China. So for BMW, that was a favorable condition, and they could easily expand in the Chinese market. Coming to the economic part, this assisted in the rise of the GDP of the Chinese business environment. So that was favorable for China, for BMW to go and invest there. Also, as we understand, once BMW decided to go and open wings in China, it created employment in the Chinese environment. So a lot of people got employed under the established BMW plant in China, and thus it enabled them to rise the standard of living in the area. Also, the foreign currency fluctuation in China is favorable, as we all understand that the foreign currency fluctuation goes hand in hand with the rise in fuel prices. So if the foreign currency is stable, that means that even the fuel prices won't be rising at that much level, it will be favorable as well. So coming down to the social factor, we have to understand that once a company comes to any country, we really need security, and we really need assurance of that company towards our environment. So for the BMW group to invest in China, it was well accepted by the Chinese people socially, as the car itself has an environmental friendly condition due to its operations. So that was better for them, and they could easily trust on the BMW investment. Also coming to the other part, that is the income of the people in China. This is well divided due to the culture and demographics of the Chinese environment. So people could afford, since it was a car that was expensive, but On the other hand, it was a car that was user-friendly, and it was a car that could define somebody in a place, because it could define people of a certain niche to establish themselves as a prestigious group in the Chinese world. Okay, coming back to the technological part. So here we have to see, like, how was BMW ready to face the technological part once going to China? Here we're talking about the innovation. So it was easy for the BMW to open up to the Chinese market because it had to incorporate the Chinese technological aspects, as in China already, as we know, they do have their own luxury brands. So BMW had to incorporate that so that to create something special for them and on the other hand, make it much more easier to access to the other people. Also, we have the legislative taxes towards big engine cars in China has been well moderated. It's not high, it's something that is favorable. So for any business environment, you do not expect the government to put too much barriers upon your business, because at the end of the day, you would like to satisfy your customer, but then you want to earn more and you want to expand. Now, then also under the technological part, the people really wanted a hybrid. But yes, you bring us a hybrid car, but we want it to be fuel efficiency. So for BMW in China, that was very well incorporated. Also, we have to check upon the environmental aspect, which is the SIG. And here we could see that the BMW incorporated the carbon dioxide emission strategy that is user-friendly to the environment and the weather in general. As we know that the world now is going towards the weather issues, that the global warming is all over, and in China, I think the global warming is worse. So incorporating a car that already emits too much due to its big engine would not be favorable for them. So for them to have the carbon dioxide emission, it was a best idea. Coming to the last part, that is the legal factors. We have to understand that BMW itself, being a global company, once it opens up its wings to other areas, which in our example is China, it really has to focus upon the standards that are set within the European market. And also it has to operate towards the new car assessment restriction strategy that has been set in Germany. So this, wherever they go, as long as they want to satisfy their customer, they want to protect their customer, and they want to make a good reputation of their company, they really have to be bound within the strategies and standards that have been set by the European standards. So this will enable a person in Germany to drive a car of the same standard in China, same standard in Malaysia, same standard all over the world. So for that, I think I've taken you through the PESTO analysis, that is the market strategy for any company that is global and that would like to expand to other countries. Thank you very much, and allow me to welcome my fellow presenter, Faisal.
Hello everyone, my name is Faisal. I'm going to be talking about SWOT analysis and global industry of BMW. First of all, I'm talking about the strength. There are several points. First point is the most outstanding automatic brand in the world. We know that the BMW brand is the second brand in the world. They only can compete with the Mercedes brand and Toyota brand. They have a good brand recognition and good brand reputation. We have believed that because they are offering the luxurious car, and their car is very comfortable for the driving. The next one is geographically diversified revenue streams. Actually, they are not dependent on the home market. They always look for the geographical. They always generate to the revenue and how to the revenue earn. Last year in 2016, they sold in China 464,000 units. They sold. There is a 17.2% was revenue. Yes. Next one is the effective partnership with China. Yeah, the main market target is the China, because China has the most automotive brand in the world. They have sold 26 million units they sold last year. In China, they have one partnership. Their name is the Brilliance Automotive. So BMW and Brilliance Automotive from together. They name is the BMW or Brilliance Automotive Limited. And next one is Presetation in hybrid and electric cars. In 2013, they launched their first hybrid car. Their name is the BMW i3. After launch, they sold 1 lakh units, and that is the best car selling in the world. And strong strategy to meet upcoming challenge. Yes, always they are looking for how to they challenge their strategy. They have a 3 strategy. The one is e-mobility and mobility. Next one is autonomous. Now I am going to be talking about weakness of BMW. Lowly automotive brand and minor product. They have lowly portfolio. They have 3 products. The name is Mini, Royal Racing, and also the BMW. They are not provide any stuff like the bus and any big vehicle things. They are provide just a car and motorcycle. Next one is increasing debt level. Yeah, in this history, they have a big debt level appeared in 2014 and 2015. 130 million debt was there. Next one is strategic alliance. They have a very few strategic alliance, but they are good in R&D. Implementation development based on that, they went for some companies. This is their also the leggings. This is the opportunity. Expected rise in the price of fuel in the market. Price fuel is very low, but in the near future, price will high. This is the expected for the customer. Actually, this is not the hamper for the customer. So the customer wants more vehicles. Next one is demand for growing EV exchange rate. BMW revenue, most revenue comes from the Eurozone. So if Euro exchange Euro dollar exchange, so that will be acceptable for the BMW. New model release timing and frequency. Yeah, they always looking for the how creating the new model because customer wants the new things and the frequency. Now we are talking about threats of BMW. Strong competitor globally. Already Google and Tesla they launched the electric car in the market, and this is the threat for the BMW. So if they should go forward, so they have to produce new things. Now I'm talking about the economic contribution of BMW. First of all, create jobs. There is 2,000 jobs they are providing in 1 year. Next tax contribution, they have a board tax contribution. As the employer, if you hire or rehire, after that you will get the RIA, that means retirement income account. You can get money from that. Next one is the help society through CSR. CSR, that means corporate social responsibility. They have one of the best life cycle is the corporate social responsibility. So their cycle is the first of all they going for the product development, then they go for the product production, then they go for the product utilization. Now I am showing you the comparing 2015 and 2016. In America, last year they lost the 19% market share. But in Europe they earned 48% unit sold, and also the same in China they earned the 72% units sold. So I have finished my part. Now I would like to request Binda to continue our presentation.
Good day everyone, my name is Binda Salam. I'm going to talk about the financial analysis of the BMW Group, the market versus 5 forces, and the relationship between Formula 1 and BMW Group. The financial analysis of the BMW Group. The target set for year 2016 was met by BMW Group. This achievement was still attained despite difficulties obtained during the year like social difficulty, political difficulty, economic difficulty, and the strong competitive industry in automobile markets. Over 2 million BMW brands were sold in a single year for the first time. And this was achieved by a growth in the sales of BMW Mini, Rolls-Royce. And also an increase was obtained in the financial service segment of contract portfolios. The revenue of BMW in 2016 compared to 2015. In 2016, BMW had a revenue of 94.1 billion euros compared to 2015, where they had 92.2 billion euros. For 6 consecutive years, BMW sales growth has increased, and in the 6th year, it attained a new growth reflected in their profit before interest and tax, their earning before interest and tax, and their net profit. The BMW Group revenue can be grouped into 4 regions. Europe, including Germany, generating the highest percentage of revenue for the BMW Group, followed by Asia, including China, followed by America, including the United States of America, and lastly, other regions. All this growth has reflected in the sales. All this growth has reflected in an increase in the growth of BMW's net profit, which we can see in the graph here. From the graph, you can see that the sales growth was attained from the automotive, followed by the motorcycle and financial services. These are the strong core groups of the BMW Group. The next I'll be talking about is the microprocess 5 forces. The microprocess 5 forces is used for industry analysis and for business strategic development. The microprocess 5 forces are 5 in number and can be grouped into 2. That is the horizontal competition and the vertical competition. The horizontal competition has 3 forces under it, and the vertical competition has 2 forces under it. The 3 forces under the horizontal competition are the threat of new entrants, the threat of close substitutes, and industry rivalry. Right for vertical competition, the 2 forces under it are bargaining power of suppliers and bargaining power of buyers. Under the threat of new entrants, the threat of new entrants is moderate for the BMW Group. Why? That is in the industry where the BMW Group operates. Why is it moderate? It's as a result of advancements in technology. Despite durable barriers to entry, e.g. cost and time of entry, this has made it a little bit difficult for new entrants to quickly penetrate the market. This is why the threat of new entrants is moderate. Industry rivalry. All over the globe, the top luxury brands have been competing to remain at the top. But BMW has maintained the highest sales growth. If you read through their financial statements for year 2016, you will see that BMW has attained the highest sales growth when it comes to sales of luxury automobiles. But it has stiff competitors like Mercedes-Benz, Audi, Lexus, and so on. The threat of close substitutes. The threat of close substitutes is low. Why is the threat of close substitutes low? It is because the BMW brand has liaised itself with wealthy personnel all over the globe. Because BMW brand satisfies a need rather than a want. People drive cars because of transportation, but most people that buy the BMW brand buy it to satisfy a need. That is to give the self-perception of affluence, of prestige. So that is why the threat of close substitutes is low, because people would rather go for the BMW brand because that is the brand that they have decided to stick with. So switching to another brand is low for that particular consumer, or should I say customer. Then the vertical competition, we have 2, the bargaining power of suppliers and the bargaining power of buyers. The bargaining power of suppliers is low. It is important for BMW Group suppliers to maintain a relationship with BMW. BMW Group has over 13,000 suppliers all over the globe. And most of the products and services of BMW Group suppliers are not unique in nature. So it means it can be gotten by other suppliers in the market. This has made the bargaining power of suppliers low. The bargaining power of buyers is also low. As I earlier said, BMW brands most times are patronized by wealthy personnel. This is because they want to satisfy a need rather than a want. So therefore the idea of switching to another one, which has made it difficult for buyers to be able to manipulate or be able to control the prices of these products, because it is basically consumed by wealthy people. The last one I'll be taking is the relationship between BMW and Formula One. The active years of BMW and Formula One was in the 2006 to 2009. Though in the 1980s, BMW became an engine constructor for Formula One. In 1983, BMW was the first company that built the first turbo engine that was able to win a race in 1983 in the World Championship. So it was able to power a driver to achieve World Championship success in 1983. This was an achievement for the BMW group in the Formula One race. In 2000 was when BMW became officially a Formula One constructor. So in 2006, BMW became active in Formula One race. In 2008, BMW won a race in the Canadian Grand Prix, which was won by the driver Robert Kubica. In 2009, which was unsuccessful for BMW decided to pull out of it because it was experiencing economic downturn. And in 2010, though BMW was not a participant in the race, but its name was officially attached to the Formula One race. If you look at the financial statement from the year BMW became a participant in the Formula One race, you will see that it has affected BMW revenue positively because BMW decided to use Formula One as a strong marketing tool to be able to penetrate the markets in which Formula One has a strong hold on in these countries. So BMW decided to use this opportunity to use Formula One as a strong marketing tool to increase its sales and revenue. So all this is all we have decided to talk about concerning our BMW Group analysis, global network, and innovation. As we have all spoken about the globalization of the BMW Group. Under it, we talked about the supply chain, marketing, the strategy, the pestle, the 7 Ps. We also talked about the SWOT analysis. We talked about the economic contribution of BMW Group Automotive, and I talked about the financial analysis. I talked about the microprocess 5 market forces, and lastly, I spoke about BMW and Formula One relationship. Thank you for listening.